Long before human history was marked by suffering, disease, and the inevitable shadow of death, our story began in a state of unblemished harmony, peace, and pure joy. In the dawn of creation, our first parents lived in an earthly paradise where sorrow was completely unknown, meant to enjoy a life of perfect intimacy with their Maker, until the time came when they would be taken, body and soul, straight into heaven. Sacred scripture identifies these foundational figures as Adam and Eve, the first man and woman from whom the entire human family descends as one single interconnected lineage. The very names given to them by the sacred author hold profound spiritual and physical truth. The name Adam comes from the Hebrew word for ground, signifying the material elements of his creation and indicating that man is mortal by nature, while the name Eve derives from the Hebrew word meaning life, denoting that she was destined to be the mother of all human beings. As Genesis records, before the creation of Adam, there was no man to till the soil, Genesis 2:5. And following her creation, Eve was rightly recognized as the mother of all the living, Genesis 3:20. Legends across countless ancient cultures preserve echoes of this original happiness and a great primordial flood, while modern scientific observations align with this fundamental truth of human unity. All human beings share common physical characteristics, such as pulse, body temperature, basic anatomical structure, and sensory faculties, with minor variations stemming merely from climate, diet, and environment. Furthermore, humanity shares an absolute emotional and intellectual sameness, marked by a universal moral code regarding right and wrong, present even in the most primitive societies, leading science to suggest that all mankind originated from a single ancestral pair, just as religion definitively declares. In creating Adam and Eve, God bestowed upon them gifts of an unimaginable value, chief among which was sanctifying grace. This divine gift elevated them to a state of innocence and holiness, making them genuinely pleasing to God, making them his adopted children, and granting them a rightful claim to the inheritance of heaven. The book of Sirach describes this original state of enlightenment and divine favor, noting that with wisdom and knowledge he filled them, good and evil he showed them, adding that he has set before them knowledge, a law of life as their inheritance, so that his majestic glory their eyes beheld, his glorious voice their ears heard. This abiding grace granted them a profound happiness that almost equaled that of the angels themselves, fulfilling the poetic words of the psalmist. You have made him little less than the angels and crowned him with glory and honor. Beyond sanctifying grace, God showered our first parents with extraordinary preternatural gifts, designed to perfect their human nature. He placed them in the Garden of Paradise, a physical sanctuary intended by the sacred author to symbolize all the divine blessings they shared through their friendship with God. Central to this paradise was the tree of life, symbolizing the gift of immortality by which God preserved our first parents from physical death out of his deep love for them. God also granted them infused knowledge, enabling them to know without the arduous effort of experience or study all the truths necessary for full-grown persons to fulfill their purpose in creation and serve as the ordinary educators of mankind. Through this insight, Adam understood the indissolubility of marriage and was able to assign fitting names to all the animals. Furthermore, God blessed them with complete mastery over their lower appetites, freeing them from subjection to passions such as impurity or drunkenness, giving them no inclination toward evil, and allowing them to feel no shame in their original innocence. Lastly, God granted them total freedom from bodily disease, suffering, and death, rendering them immortal on the condition of their continued fidelity to him. Despite these incredible privileges, Adam and Eve remained finite creatures who owed absolute obedience and acknowledgement to God as their supreme Lord and Creator. In recounting the story of their fall, the sacred author illustrates man's fundamental obligations to God through the account of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which Adam and Eve were strictly forbidden to eat from, demonstrating that man cannot simply do whatever he pleases. God appointed Adam as the federal head and representative of the entire human race. To merit heaven, Adam had to recognize his creaturehood rather than seek to be like God. Had Adam and Eve remained faithful, they would have eventually passed into heaven, God's home, to see him face to face, without ever experiencing sickness or bodily death, and their descendants would have inherited the same state of grace and immortality. However, tempted by the devil and moved by the sin of pride, Adam and Eve desired to be like God himself. They broke their trust with their Creator and fell into disobedience. a heartbreaking turn of events summarized by the sacred author when he records that they ate of the forbidden fruit. Genesis 3:1-13. Forfeiting their pristine paradise and leaving a legacy that altered the course of human history forever. If you are new to Catholicism, or if you are simply looking to deepen your understanding of the truth, I want to welcome you to this channel. This video is part of an ongoing lesson-by-lesson walkthrough of the classic catechism, My Catholic Faith. Throughout this series, we're diving into this entire book together, breaking down these timeless truths to help us navigate our modern world. If you would like to follow along and watch all of these video lessons, please make sure to subscribe and turn your notifications on so that you never miss a new episode. If you're watching these videos, you aren't just looking for head knowledge, you're probably seeking a home. But how do you actually go from watching a video to standing in a traditional Catholic parish receiving the sacraments of Christ? To help you cross that threshold, I've put together a completely free mini course called Entering the Household of Faith. It gives you a complete step-by-step roadmap of the catechumenate, a gentle introduction to the beauty of traditional parish life, and the exact practical steps you need to take to confidently reach out to a traditional priest at a church near you. Click the link in the description to create your free portal account, and let's take this next step together. I know that exploring the faith can bring up a lot of deep questions, so please leave your thoughts in the comment sections below. I will be reading through them and doing my absolute best to answer every single question you have. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you in the next lesson.